Good to have you with us on a Friday. I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. We're going to begin this morning with a major travel crisis impacting global flights. One of the world's busiest airports, that's London's Heathrow, it was forced to close for all of today after a fire at a nearby electrical substation knocked out its power.
The airport is urging travelers to stay away as crews work to restore power. In a statement, the airport says to maintain the safety of our passengers and colleagues, we have no choice but to close Heathrow. We expect significant disruption over the coming days, and passengers should not travel to the airport under any circumstances until the airport reopens. Because Heathrow is a major international hub, this is having a domino effect. The closure is causing chaos all around the world, with more than 1,300 flights affected so far. And as that statement I read suggests, it could take days for everything to get back to normal. We have full team coverage of this developing story. Tourism and Aviation Leadership Advisor Anita Mendurata is standing by. First, so let's go to our international correspondent, Raf Sanchez, who is at Heathrow Airport.
Hey there, London's Heathrow Airport, normally one of the busiest in the world, but this morning this is as close as you can get, and we are already seeing travel chaos worldwide as a result of its closure. U.S. passengers from coast to coast seeing their travel plans upended. Now, local authorities are saying that a fire broke out at a power plant near the airport early this morning. It knocked out electricity to the airport's 4 terminals, and it is forcing Heathrow's closure, authorities say, until at least midnight local time tonight. That is 8 p.m. Eastern, and we are going to be feeling the knock-on effects of this worldwide. Some 1,300 flights were scheduled to either take off or land at Heathrow today. Many of them are now going to be out of place for future flights. You can actually see on flight radar the moment that incoming planes in midair got the news that Heathrow was closed, some of them turning back to the East Coast, others diverting to other airports here in the London area, some dropping passengers off in Shannon. The travel advice from experts is to check with your airline directly if you think that your plans may be affected. The last time Heathrow was closed, 2010, as a result of that volcano in Iceland, sending a huge cloud of volcanic ash up into the air. That paralyzed global air travel for a week. And authorities here are warning that there may be days of severe disruption travel ahead.
All right, Raf, thank you so much. Let's bring in tourism and aviation expert Anita Mendurata for more on this. Anita, thanks for joining us this morning. I mean, already no surprise, we've seen reports several airline carriers have been affected. Heathrow is one of the world's busiest airports. So what are the immediate impacts and also just the long-term consequences of a major airport closure like this?
Indeed. And thanks very much for having me. And I think importantly, it's a major airport closure, but it's also an area where 16,000 homes have been impacted as well. This airport closure, which admittedly happened at the best time for a worst case scenario, happened just before 3 a.m. this morning when Heathrow announced that they needed to shut down the airport. That was when one of the last flights landed. Before then, the curfew lifted and you'd have the 5:30, 6 a.m. landing of aircraft. So there was a window of opportunity to communicate to the global network from an aviation perspective that we have a problem and we need to start diversions or even stopping aircraft from departing from their point of departure. The implications are significant, but what is very, very good to know is that Heathrow is anticipating it will reopen by midnight tonight, so one can still plan forward. The implications are massive in terms of the disruption to passengers, to crew, to aircraft itself around the world. They're in positions that they're not supposed to be. We need to get them back, whether it's for the people landing here or even connecting. But on top of that, there are those that want to be able to depart tomorrow and arrive in tomorrow. So it's managing all of this together. Importantly, thankfully, aviation is one of the best ecosystems in the world to be able to manage this complexity of getting the world safely traveling once again. So it is about giving that time between now and midnight to be able to solve the short-term challenges and phase in the medium and long-term, restoring the momentum of aviation.
What type of coordination is going on like this, like behind the scenes during a crisis between airlines and airports to try to minimize the disruptions to passengers?
It's such an important question that you ask, because ultimately, again, when there was notification from Heathrow that there was trouble, the coordination comes in terms of being able to create alternative landing areas for the aircraft that are landing based on capability of handling, especially the larger long-haul aircraft, the 787s, the A380s. All of that needs to be managed carefully. On top of that, it's the diversions as well as the rebookings. So there's a huge complex management system. In tandem to that needs to be the communication. So communication to passengers, to alternative airports, to alternative transport systems. So as we've seen here in London, you've had subway lines like the Elizabeth line that would normally go straight to Heathrow has stopped going in. Because the last thing we want to do is, with people still hopeful that they will travel today, we need to not create bottlenecks, and not only bottlenecks of people, but bottlenecks of very, very cross emotion, as people naturally will be very frustrated. They will be very cross. They'll be very put out, literally and figuratively. So it's about managing all of that at the same time.
Anita, if you are traveling today or tomorrow and you're really not sure if this is going to affect you, just real quick, what's your best advice to folks?
I think the best advice right now, quite honestly, is be grateful you're on the ground and be grateful you have access to information from the airport and especially the airlines. The airlines are doing what they can to manage communicating to people exactly what they need to do and what to please not do. And for those travelers that are stranded, this is where duty of care kicks in, and where airlines are looking at making sure that they can protect the passengers, whether it's through immediate needs of food and beverage, whether it's alternative accommodation, alternative transport, which might be airlines, it might be trains and road systems. So the airlines are working incredibly hard to be able to manage these sort of crises. And obviously the airlines as well and the airports have their emergency systems in place. They have their central operating units for crisis. So that has been mobilized. And it really is about all of us just waiting for the communication and trying not to be an additional disruption on top of that, as frustrating as this might be for everyone involved.
Some good advice there. All right, Anita Mendarata, thank you for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Here in the U.S. this morning, there are questions about the future of the Department of Education and its impact on students as President Trump takes steps to deliver on his campaign promise of dismantling it. The president signed an executive order yesterday directing Education Secretary Linda McMahon to begin the process of winding down her department. He cited American students' falling test scores as a reason.
The United States spends more money on education by far than any other country, and spends likewise by far more money per pupil than any country, and it's not even close. But yet we rank near the bottom of the list in terms of success. We're going to be returning education very simply back to the states where it belongs, and it's going to work.
The executive order comes after the department already cut its workforce in half earlier this month. The latest national report card shows 40% of fourth graders don't meet basic benchmarks for reading, despite increases in federal funding.
For more on this, let's bring in NBC News correspondent Rahima Ellis. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here on set with us. I want to start by reading something. This is from one of the teachers' unions, the president of the National Education Association. I want to read something he said in part. It says, "This will hurt all students by sending class sizes soaring, cutting job training programs, and making higher education more expensive." What do we think? What do we know at this point about how this will impact students in schools?
What we know at this point is that it will have little practical impact on students immediately. For it to have an immediate impact, Congress would have to eliminate funding. And you heard the president say that there's not going to be any interruption services for those children who have some essential services. But people are really concerned because if you've cut the workforce at the Department of Education in half, then that means you can't have the kind of supply of services to children that you had before. I want to make a correction or point out something that the president said. He said that we spend more than any other country in the nation per pupil on students. We are fifth in the world in terms of our spending on pupils, behind Luxembourg, Austria, and South Korea. He also said that the nation's report card shows that we have done a terrible job at the Department of Education in terms of educating students. The nation's report card is basically part of what the Department of Education was formed to do 45 years ago. It was formed to centralize the gathering of information, data collection. The report card is a sign of the data that's going to be collected about what the states are doing in their particular districts in terms of educating children. The nation's report card is not an example of how the federal government is educating kids in our schools. The states do that. And when he says he's returning control of education to schools, states already have it, Joe.
When it comes to the critical functions, the White House says it's still going to leave in the Department of Education. What are those? And has the White House explained how that's actually going to happen with all of these massive cuts?
The White House has not explained how it's going to happen. We're talking about student loans, Pell Grants, services for children who have disabilities, also services for children with special needs. There are a lot of people out there who know what IEPs are, individualized education programs, for children with autism, ADD, ADHD, dyslexia. He says those services will not be interrupted. But there are a lot of people who are worried, again, because you've cut the staff. And it means that if you have an issue in your local school department that can't be resolved and you want some help from the federal government, there are fewer people now in the federal government to address those concerns.
How do we see this playing out? Does it head to court? I mean, especially as teachers' unions are saying they want to fight it.
Well, those unions are saying they do want to fight it, and they are fighting it, as well as the many others who are in the Department of Education who were laid off. They've gone to court, too, to try and get their jobs back. So, yeah, I think this is something that's going to end up in court. And ultimately, Congress may be asked to sit down and make a decision to vote on this. But there seems very little appetite in Congress for doing this right now. It should be pointed out that 2/3 of the American public say they support the Department of Education. They don't want to see it disappear. And it takes an act of Congress that means 60 votes in the Senate. Republicans number 53 votes. And there seems to be no appetite for the Democrats to join a vote to demolish the Department of Education.
Such important reporting, certainly questions for parents. Thank you, and great to have you on set with us.
Nice to see you.
The Justice Department is facing a new deadline today to fully answer questions from a federal judge. He wants to know more about the controversial deportation flights of alleged Venezuelan gang members to El Salvador.
Yeah, the judge is seeking to determine if the White House defied his court order. On Thursday, he called previous answers to those questions, quote, woefully insufficient.
NBC News White House correspondent Aaron Gilchrist joins us now. So, Aaron, this was a pretty damning 3-page ruling by District Judge James Boasberg. He wants more information about these deportation flights. What is he saying about the government's response so far?
Yeah, this judge, the chief judge of the U.S. District Court here in D.C., basically said that the Department of Justice evaded its obligation to provide the information, really, that he's been asking for several days. Our understanding of what happened yesterday is that the Department of Justice submitted a declaration from an ICE regional director in Texas who essentially said that his understanding was that there were people at the secretary level who were having conversations about whether to evoke the state secrets privilege over the information that the judge has been requesting. He sent the government 5 questions, I think 5 or 6 questions, additional questions that he wanted answered by yesterday. And instead of getting those answers, he got this declaration from this low-level official. The judge said, as you indicated, that was woefully insufficient, that he needed to get a statement from someone who was actually a part of the conversations, who had direct knowledge that there were conversations about evoking the state secrets privilege over the information that he wants. And he demanded that declaration come to him by this morning. And so that's one of the things that we're waiting for, a statement there. And then the judge went a step further and told the government that he wanted their explanation, a written explanation of how they did not violate his order over the past weekend. And that was the order in which he said you need to turn these planes around and bring these immigrants back into the United States until he could make some rulings about the cases that were brought before him here, Joe and Savannah.
So, Aaron, what comes next? What are we hearing from the Justice Department about all this also?
Well, the response to the judge's request late yesterday really came from 2 places, from President Trump himself and from the Justice Department. The president basically trashed the judge's ruling yesterday. He called it ridiculous in a post on his social media site and said that the judge is doing everything in his power to usurp the power of the presidency. The Department of Justice put out a statement as well last night saying that this was judicial overreach for the judge to be trying to get his hands on information that the government believes he's not entitled to have, particularly if there is some national security, foreign policy element to this, as the Justice Department has claimed at points throughout this whole process, Joe and Savannah. And so We'll see where this lands. There is already an appeal to the judge's earlier restraining order and ruling in this case. That appeal is supposed to be heard on Monday at the Circuit Court, Appeals Court here in D.C.
All right, we'll see what happens there. Aaron, thank you so much.
Well, we're learning new details this morning about allegations against a university student who was arrested by federal authorities earlier this week. The Justice Department alleges that the student was spreading, quote, terrorist propaganda while in the U.S. on a visa. As NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez reports, this latest arrest is adding to a growing debate about the limits of free speech.
Badar Khan Suri, a graduate student and father of 3 from India who was teaching at Georgetown University, is now accused of having ties to a terror group. But a federal judge temporarily blocked his deportation after the ACLU filed an emergency motion.
Freedom of speech in this country should never be limited, and it should never be chilled by the government.
But the idea that somehow he is a threat to our national security because of, his views on the Israel-Palestine conflict is just ridiculous.
But a spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security says Suri was actively spreading Hamas propaganda and promoting anti-Semitism on social media. A U.S. official tells NBC News his father-in-law was a Hamas advisor. Georgetown University says it's not aware of Suri engaging in illegal activity and that he was granted a visa to the United States to continue his doctoral research on peace building in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Trump administration is using a law that grants the Secretary of State power to deport visa holders whose presence has adverse foreign policy consequences.
We will continue to look for people that we would never have allowed into this country on student visas had we known they were going to do what they've done.
Meanwhile, Columbia University is now signaling it'll comply with the Trump administration's demands in return for restoring $400 million in federal funding, canceled because the White House accused Columbia of continued inaction in the face of persistent harassment of Jewish students. During pro-Palestinian protests, campus buildings were occupied and vandalized. Jewish student Shoshana Offstein says she was trapped inside one of them.
There comes a point where speech is, it's not protected speech anymore if you're inciting violence, if you're supporting terrorism.
As for the Georgetown graduate student, his lawyer says he's done nothing wrong and that he's still in custody at a detention facility in Louisiana. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, Washington.
All right, Gabe, thank you.
All these political headlines are roiling emotions, which is why lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are facing voters' fury at some passionate town hall meetings.
Yeah, from Republicans angry at President Trump and Elon Musk's government cuts to Democrats frustrated at their party's perceived lack of fight, the political backlash is growing.
Here to talk more about all this, NBC News senior national politics reporter Jonathan Allen. John, good to have you with us. So first of all, talk to us about what you've been seeing at these Republican town halls. What have been some of the common themes and reactions to the point where we're seeing a lot of Republicans just not have in-person town halls anymore?
Yeah, good morning, Joe. Good morning, Savannah. We started seeing that actually, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, where you had some town hall meetings that got a little bit rowdy, and Republican lawmakers were getting advice from party leaders to tell them, hey, don't hold these things. Don't expose yourself to this. But in terms of the common themes, there's a lot of frustration about DOGE in particular, about Elon Musk, usually not aimed entirely at him, but about the cuts that are happening as a result of DOGE. People are worried that they're not going to get the benefits that they usually get from the government, not going to be able to access services, whether that's from the Veterans Administration, where basically the phone lines need to be open. There need to be veterans healthcare workers available to folks. They're worried about Social Security. Elon Musk keeps saying he wants to cut Social Security. Donald Trump says he doesn't, but Musk keeps saying they need to eliminate the program entirely. And he's already starting to shut field offices and close off phone services. So there are a lot of concerns from constituents that are being aired, and a lot of times, fairly aggressively, just in terms of being vociferous. So you see members of Congress getting shouted down. On the Democratic side, basically, Democratic constituents want their lawmakers to fight harder.
John, yesterday we were talking with Ali Vitale about what she was seeing firsthand. You know, she just went to one of these Democratic town halls where voters are expressing their frustration, especially at Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. And then yesterday we also saw two of the party's biggest progressives, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, also Senator Bernie Sanders, joining forces for town halls in Nevada and Arizona. This was dubbed Fight Oligarchy. I know you've co-written a piece about this, but what do you think about someone like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez stepping into some type of leadership void to galvanize Democrats? Could that tactic work?
Well, you know, look, she's one of the most controversial members of Congress, which is a double-edged sword, right? There are a lot of Democrats who don't like her. There are more Republicans who don't like her. And at the same time, as a result of that controversy, as a result of some of the you know, sort of arrows that come her way, you can see that she's a powerful force within the Democratic Party. And you can see as she travels with Bernie Sanders that they're getting big crowds, that there's energy. So, look, I think the Democrats, if they can figure out the best use for AOC, or if she can find the right niche for herself, and I'm not saying what that is, but maybe it's in a primary against Chuck Schumer in 4 years, maybe it's a presidential run, or maybe it's a leadership role in the House. She obviously has the ability to attract attention to a message.
John, I'm going to tap into some of your experience here. Have you seen a time when constituents from both major parties have been this vocal, this angry about the political situation at the same time?
Not that I recall instantly. Typically, it's one side or the other. The best parallel I can think of is the Tea Party summer of 2010, when you had Republicans showing up at Democratic town halls and shouting down their members. But let's just put it this way. I would say for the last quarter century, the American public has been angry at its government for not delivering what the public wants. And the problem with that is the public is divided over what it wants. Yeah.
All right. John Allen, thank you so much as always. Appreciate it. Millions of people across the country are cleaning up after a powerful early spring storm system. A reported 10 tornadoes touched down across the Midwest. We're going to show you the scene in Gary, Indiana, where roofs were ripped off homes and businesses. In Florida, wildfires are raging across the southern part of the state, spreading near Miami-Dade and closing at least one of the roads to the Keys. On top of that, a patchwork of snowstorms, rock slides, and dust storms moved across the Northeast and the Southwest. Let's take a closer look at what to expect now with your Morning News Now weather.
Angie Lassman joins us in studio. Hey, Angie, good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning. Happy Friday to you. We've got another storm system that we're now watching. So let's head over to the West Coast, where we've already got some of this moisture kind of streaming on in for our friends in the Pacific Northwest. That's where we're going to gear up to see some heavy rain, some heavy snow, and potentially gusty winds, specifically making travel difficult across those mountainous regions. This is the area that's going to be busy today, but notice what happens by the time we get into tomorrow. A lot of this works across the Rockies and the plains, and we will ramp up the chance for some snow showers and some rain showers across those northern high plains, but also the potential for maybe a kind of a generally strong storm or two to develop across parts of the Midwest, specifically Missouri into Kansas. We could see a couple of those. That severe potential really ramps up, though, as we get into Sunday, and the system works east. We've got multiple kind of impacts from this for our plans, especially any outdoor plans you might have across this region on Sunday. So first things first, we've got that snow across, again, the upper Midwest stretching down into the Great Lakes. We've got some heavy rain for the Ohio Valley. And then we've got a slight risk for severe storms to develop across parts of essentially the Tennessee Valley stretching down to the plains. So anywhere from Kentucky to Texas could see the chance to see a couple of stronger storms. Now, the biggest impacts are going to be the hail and the winds, but I wouldn't rule out a tornado or two as this system works its way to the east. We mentioned that we've had difficulty with the fire weather over the past really week or so, and that unfortunately continues today and likely into the weekend. Here's what we're looking at now as far as those alerts. 22 million people. We've got them across the plains, we've got them across the Rockies, and of course we have them still in place for the east coast of Florida, stretching from Orlando to Miami. Those red flag warnings and fire weather watches are going to stay in effect today. Here's what we look for as far as our fire weather threats today. It's focused the critical risk, mainly over Texas. And then as we get into tomorrow, you can see, again, Texas and New Mexico. So kind of the same areas that we've really been looking at, really low humidity levels, gusty winds. We're going to see those lasting. By the time we get into tomorrow, your Saturday, it looks like most of the country will be quite bright. We'll have a lot of sunshine east of the Rockies, a little bit of that snow and rain across the plains and the Rockies. But otherwise, the Southwest looks sunny. The Northeast looks sunny. We've got lots of sunshine for the Great Lakes, too. And our temperatures will be kind of on the mild side for the southern tier of the country. We've got 70s, we've got 80s. Some spots in Texas could reach near 90 degrees. And we'll see those 70s kind of lasting for the southeast into Sunday, Joe. But unfortunately, that's when we ramp up that severe weather and the snow from the Great Lakes to the Gulf Coast.
All right. That rain caught me off guard last night.
Did it?
I didn't bring the umbrella. I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Thanks, Angie. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.